Today's episode of Chat and Chew is sponsored by Big, the brand agency. Please make sure you follow us on Facebook, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and of course, hit the bell to activate notifications that will remind you when we're on. Please be sure to leave us a comment to let us know how we're doing. We'd love to hear from you.
Welcome, James. We are at another episode of Chat and Chew.
It sounds good to me. I like Chat and Chew, and I hope all of our viewers are there eating away and listening away to our program this evening. Before we get started, though, I just wanted to remind our users to, if you're on Facebook, if you would just like our page, follow us, and share this broadcast with your friends. You would be doing us a tremendous service. And for our YouTubers, if you could subscribe to the channel, check the little bell for notifications, and then you can share that too. And for all of our viewers, if you would just leave us a comment, we're welcoming you aboard, and we'd love to hear what your thoughts are. So definitely do that for us. And Glenn, back to you.
Yep. I'm very excited today about our Chat and Chew broadcast today. We're going to get into it in a moment. But I know some of you are watching us as you sit down and eat your dinner. So let's chat and chew while you do. All right, so today, James, one of the classes that we do, we talk about relationship between fathers and their kids and the co-parenting aspect of it. We do a little question and answer discussion. It's called True or False, but we call it Facts or Myth. But before we get into that, I want to talk briefly to you about, how did you get into this work of fatherhood? I kind of know, but kind of share your story about you being a father. And I know you just lost your father a few months ago. And just talk about your experience and what your father brought to the table with you and how your father actually helped determine the outcome that you and your siblings had and the influence that he had over you.
Yeah, Glenn, you're correct. I lost my father December 2nd of 2023. And he was 92 years old.
Man.
And I'm going to try to stay upbeat about it. Because I'm not sad about the fact that he wasn't a good dad. He was a great dad, as far as I'm concerned. And it wasn't easy at times either.
Tell me about
he was strong disciplinarian, but he was fair. I remember him teaching us the benefits that come with working.
Right.
So whenever we wanted something, we had to work for it to get it. Now, that may have meant doing your chores and getting that allowance. So we used to get an allowance. I don't remember what it was, but it was something. Right. But when we wanted more money, then my dad actually took a part-time job at a school, and we clean that school every evening.
Really?
Whatever custodial type things. You sweep the floor, straighten the classroom up, empty the trash, things like that. And you couldn't tell us nothing. And my oldest brother and myself and my dad, we did that every day, whether it's rain, snow, or shine. Yeah.
How long did it take y'all to do that? Wow.
We would probably take a couple hours every evening, And so it was a learning experience for me and my dad, because he wasn't standing over our backs telling us what to. He showed us what to do one or two times, but after that, we were on our own, and we were expected to be done, all of three of us at the same time. I had a floor, my oldest brother had a floor, my dad had a floor, and then we had to keep it timed. And we were no more than about 10 or 11.
How big was the school?
It was a small school, but it had different floors.
Yeah,
It had 3 different floors.
Man.
So it was exciting times, because once I learned that, he taught us about saving your money. Okay, I said, I want a mini bike. Okay, if you want that, then you're going to have to save your money. And so I had gotten up maybe about $300, and this mini bike I wanted was probably $600. So they matched my funds, and I was able to get that bike.
Really?
Yeah.
Man.
So that was one of my experiences.
How old were you then?
I would say I was still 11 or 12. I think in that area.
Okay.
Wasn't old enough to drive, or
Right.
have a driver's license.
Did you enjoy the mini bike?
Oh yeah, I would. I didn't get in trouble with it, but I had a lot of fun with it too. Yeah.
Wow.
And my dad also taught us how to drive. A manual
Yes.
a manual shift car.
Yes.
Which for new people out there that are driving today, everything is automatic.
Right.
We
had a straight shift back in the day.
Yeah, but you had to shift gears if you
Yeah.
wanted to move forward.
Yeah.
Or backwards. So he taught us how to do that too.
And a lot of leg and feet coordination with that clutch.
Yeah. So my dad, I think sometimes I might get a little upset because he didn't throw the ball with us. Football, basketball.
Okay.
We had to learn those things on our own. But he did what he did. He was a track star in school though. So,
Man, yeah.
he was. This was his words. He said he was the fastest boy in this whole school.
Wow.
And it came to reality when we were teenagers, and we were on a summer vacation, and I remember racing. My dad, my brother, and I think even my sister probably jumped in that race. But he said the word go, and we took off down this dirt road, because I always used to go to Georgia for the summers, but he beat us, all of us. And we were teenagers at that point. I mean, probably 16, 17. He outran us all. So, yeah, he was fast.
Wow.
He was fast. Couldn't believe it.
Man.
But, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we came up kind of in the same era where our fathers, and I remember my dad had a part-time job cleaning up a local restaurant.
Right.
He did only on the weekends. Though.
Right. Okay.
And he did it mostly by himself. We went in a couple of times to help him. That was his little part-time job that he did. That he cleaned up.
Yeah.
That restaurant every Saturday night.
Wow. That's interesting. Yeah.
I sent him that what it was because he closed for the weekend. But yeah, so that was but you talked about your dad several times. I didn't get a chance to meet him, but
Right.
we're sorry for your loss. But you seem like your dad lived a full life. 92 years was
It's pretty full.
yeah.
He never was really sick and things like that. When I say sick, you know how the older you get, the more you might have
Feeble,
diabetes or
he didn't have none of that.
No, he was a healthy man,
Wow.
But at the end something happened. And,
Yeah. And that's the way it's supposed to be. We supposed to bury our parents.
Yeah, I used to think of him as being Hercules because he was just this big person in my life,
Yeah, sometimes we need society has some kind of shifted that fathers are, absent a lot, especially black fathers.
Right.
We're not there, and that's not the truth.
Right.
We had a segment last segment when I was listening to G talk about he's a barber, and primarily you and I, because of the nature we deal with a lot of absent fathers because these guys are in prison, blah blah blah. But he said that is not the norm in his world,
Right.
because he's a barbershop, and most of the men that come to his barbershop also bring their kids.
Sure.
So he said, "There's nothing for me to see all day long a father and a son that's bringing. So we see in the other side of the world, maybe struggling fathers, and that's kind of how we,
I think the focus is always going to be on the negative.
Right.
That's what the media is going to show us. Right. And I stumbled on a reading yesterday. I was just happened to look, and the title caught my eye, and it says Black people are responsible for the majority of the killings in the United States. And even one of our ex-presidents, he said that same statement,
Right.
But the facts are that no, that is not true. That is not a true statement.
Yeah.
But how many people are going to believe it,
Right.
though, because it's in print or because someone said it?
Right.
So we have to be careful about that.
Right.
And no, blacks do not commit the most murders in this country. So only a small share.
Right.
The media can drive home certain
that negative
types of
that
reporting.
stereotype that fathers are absent and
Right.
and we're not there to hear, and we know that's happened to some degree, but for the most part, like my G was saying, all day, every day, 5-6 days a week, all he sees is fathers bringing their kids on a regular basis and getting their haircut and their nephews. So that's amazing how we can just kind of focus on one aspect.
Yeah, and even in our classes, I know that some of these men may have been incarcerated, but they still found a way to talk to their kids.
Yes,
They may not be physically there, but mentally, the children have access to their dad some kind of way.
And that's one of the reasons why we have the summit. Is to bring new fathers, good fathers, great fathers all together and have discussions and talk about the thing that fathers struggle with, the thing that men struggle with, which kind of lead us into our discussion today. What we're going to talk about, the fact and myth. This is I love this. I love this chapter.
I do too.
Because we get to we do a lot of lecture,
right,
but we also do a lot of group studies. I mean, group discussion, and this is one of the group discussions that we have. And sometimes we even play a little game with this particular exercise. Right. But we got it's about 12 questions we're going to ask. We're only going to talk about 6 or 7 of them today. But I want to. I'll let you ask the question. You're a better reader than I am. Oh. So you start out reading the question, then we're going to kind of discuss this. Again, this is, I'll tell our audience, this is one of the classes that we discuss with the men, and it's called Facts or Myth, True or False. And we ask these questions to get the conversation started, we just debate, we just talk about the answer to this.
So viewers, listen up. You are now in class with Dr. Glen Warren, and James Jackson is the Dean of Students, and I'm checking on you right now. So, as we move forward, number 1, fatherhood begins for a man the moment his child is born. Now, this is either a myth or a fact. So, what do you think?
So, the audience, so what do y'all think it is?
Yeah.
I know
just list your comments.
Yeah.
Put it in the chat.
Is it a myth or fact, a true or false? Fatherhood begins the moment the child is born. True or false?
Right.
And the answer is?
It's a myth.
It's a myth.
Yep.
Why is that?
It's a myth because it says fatherhood begins the moment the child is conceived.
Exactly.
In the mother's womb.
Exactly. When she says, "I'm late, honey," that time of the month didn't come around.
Right.
I'm late.
Right.
And then she go to the doctor, and the doctor says, "Okay, let's do a pregnancy test." And we found out that yes,
you are.
She is pregnant. That's when fatherhood starts.
Yeah, because the child isn't here, but you have to make preparation for the child.
Yes. And one of the talks we talked about yesterday, we talked about Dr. Terrence Ruth talked about the first 1,000 days. Of a child's life can be influenced greatly by support, not just the mom, but also by the father.
Right.
And so that's like almost 3 years. So your presence in your child's life, the 9 months while they're in the mother's womb,
Right.
and then the first, the 3 years after then, it's just as important. And according to Dr. Ruth, those stats, those statistics, has said that sometimes the success or failure of a child could be determined during those months.
Wow. Okay, let's move on.
Move on.
I hope our viewers got that one right, and if not, this is a learning moment. So, this is the number 2. Children seem to prefer their fathers as play partners. This is either a myth or a fact.
And true or false?
The answer is this is a fact.
True. It's a fact.
Yeah.
I know when I was raising my kids, I had 2 boys and a girl, and at an early age, I'm coming home from work, and their mother's in the kitchen cooking, and we're in the living room, and we are play fighting, wrestling. I'm throwing them up, in the air. We playing horsey, and I'm wrestling with them. They're trying to get me down,
right,
hold me, and we yelling and screaming. And even one time we put a hole in the wall because one of the kids fell. Their mom just went ballistic because we ended up acting like a bunch of
wild kids.
Wild kids, and we just had fun. And all of that, but when kids, they love that physical. Attraction, connection. Yep. So when you throw your kids up in the air, they're like, do it again, Dad.
Right.
We're not saying now, Mom doesn't do that. We're not saying that. We're not being that stereotype. But a lot of times it's the dad that's doing the wrestling on the floor, and that's why kids kind of love to play with Dad. Now there's a time when I went over to my daughter house, and she was on the floor playing with her 2 kids, and there was wrestling. And we're not saying that. That doesn't happen because we know that happened. But according to statistics, that kids love to play with their father as a playmate as opposed to mom.
All right. Question number 3. When non-resident fathers pay child support, their children are more likely to be healthy. And this is a myth or it's a fact?
And the answer is, it is a fact. It is true. Because when the mom is getting support from the father, financial support, as well as, all the other support, but especially financial support, she have more money now to be able to buy things that she needs. I mean, like cough medicine, or Pampers, and those kind of things that the child need. Quick story, one of the, when I was working as a social worker, one of my clients, they made a report to Child Protective Service because she rationed her Pampers for her baby. Yeah, she wasn't getting the support that she needed, and she really couldn't afford a lot of Pampers. She couldn't send the baby to daycare without Pampers. Right. If you're sitting there, so you just can't say, I'm going to send my little Jimmy there, but you better have some Pampers for little Jimmy. I don't know, 3 or 4, whatever it was. But she was rationing the Pampers because she wanted to be able to send Johnny to school. And so at nighttime when the baby, if she used the bathroom, if he boo-booed, she would change it. But if he peed, she just let him, and he was sleeping all night long. And eventually they start developing a rash. And over a period of time, this baby have had rashes, and the daycare saw a pattern of this baby having a rash, go to the doctor, get medication. 2 months later, the baby have another rash. And they kind of reported this mom to Child Protective Service for neglect. And come to find out this is what the mom would do. She wasn't being neglectful, and she was just being rationing out her Pampers. And she said one reason why she did it is because she wasn't receiving child support from the father, and she couldn't afford the Pampers. So those little things, having the money to buy Pampers, having money to buy cold medicine, or whatever you need, it will help the baby be healthy if the father was really there involved in. And that's another whole class we talk about. Yes, it is. Because the guy say, I'm not going to pay child support because she's taking her money and buying shoes. That's another whole story. We get into that one day.
All right, number 4. Fathers have their greatest influence on their sons when they are teenagers. This is a myth or a fact?
Yes. And the answer is,
this is a myth.
It's a false.
Yeah, this is a myth.
It starts early.
Like that 1,000 days you mentioned.
Yes. Yeah. Because oftentimes, by the time they get to teenagers, not to say it's too late, but they've already formulated their mind about you and who you are, your absent.
Right.
And not saying, because I know a lot of fathers who have, whatever reason, didn't have a good relationship with their kids, and then became teens, and now they established that for whatever reason.
Right.
But it starts way.
Yeah, it starts earlier than that.
And it starts at conception.
Yeah.
But definitely starts, at 4, 5, 6, 7, way before they.
They're learn. They may not be in school learning, but they're
Right.
learning from their dad.
Yes.
And mom during those formative years.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Number 5, a father's relationship with the mother of his child does not necessarily influence how his child views him. Now, this is either a myth or it's a fact. What do you say, audience?
Yes. And it is
It's a myth.
It is a myth. The father response to the mom have a definitely impact on the child. Whether if the father is not there, having a negative relationship with the mom, that contention, the kid is going to pick it up.
Yeah, and we talked about this in class too.
Yeah.
If there is that negative tension going on, it's teaching the child that I think I can be a bully and get away with it.
A lot of bullying starts at home because a lot of kids are watching dad bully mom, and sometimes mom bully dad.
Yeah.
But a lot of times the kids are watching that and they say, "Wow, it's working.
Yeah.
Dad is getting his way.
Right.
So let me go take that behavior and go to school and start doing the same thing." So bullying sometimes starts in the home and is observed. As we said often, some things are taught and some things are caught.
Right.
You teach people things by, this is how you read, how you do that. You teach people that. Things that are caught is I'm watching your behavior.
Yes.
And I'm picking up on your behavior. And now I'm starting to mimic your behavior. Because it's working for you.
Yeah. And it's going to work.
It's going to work for me too.
Yes.
So let me figure out how to do this. Let me figure out how to be this bully. The other thing is, especially your mom, when I was coming up, you can say what you want to say about my dad. They really, my dad's been able to take care of himself.
Right.
I ain't had to do nothing. But you start calling my mama name. We had many fights in school.
Yeah.
Because somebody said something about your mama.
Yep. All the time. It's always like, you better not say nothing about my mom.
No.
To this day, it's that way.
Exactly, that way. And so when kids watch their dad cuss their mom out or say things about their mom in front of them, it could be devastating. Men and women.
Yeah.
But, so especially sometimes little boys. This is my mom. This is your ex-wife. You don't like her. But this is my mom. And for you to come in and talk negative about her in front of me as a child, one of the stories we talk about is that, being able to have that good relationship between, the mom, even when the mom and dad got contention for one another, that you be able to talk. One of the ladies that was in our class, she said her and her ex-husband had a gag order. And I was like, how did that work? I mean, we all know what a gag order is, right?
Yep. Keep your mouth shut.
You keep your mouth. You can't talk about the outcome of this lawsuit or the outcome of whatever. You can't talk about it.
Right.
There's nobody, because if you get won a lawsuit and you won $10 million and they put a gag order in, that means you cannot discuss the outcome of that. And if you do, you got to give that $10,000 back.
Forfeiting the funds.
Forfeit the funds. So most people shut them out.
Right.
They don't talk about that because they don't want to give that money back.
Yep.
So the same kind of principle. And she said, I said, how did that work when you had a gag order? And she said, and the gag order was, I could never say nothing negative about my son's father and my son's president. And he had the same thing.
Yep.
She could never say anything negative about their son and about her husband, ex-husband, and his son president. And I said, so how did it work? She said, I never did. I never cussed him out. I never called him a bad name. Not in front of my kid. I cuss him out a whole lot of times, but never
Not in front of the
in
kids.
front of my child. So can you imagine if every couple that had a divorce signed that decree?
Yep. Less conversations
Well,
being had.
exactly. So, and one of the stories we talk about, the fly on the wall, and I won't get into that, but it's a fly on the wall syndrome. But yeah, so when we start talking negative about the other parent in front of the kids, we're inviting the kids to be a part of a conversation that they shouldn't be listening
to be in. Yeah.
And not only do they know, a lot of times they're on the phone talking to grandma, because mama's talking to grandma, mama's talking to Aunt Sue, and mama's talking about my dad, but also the person on the phone, my grandma is talking about my dad. The same thing my mom is talking about, so little Jimmy, he knows that now Uncle John is talking about his mama as well. So the kids know that everybody's talking about and we tell them to go on and have a good day. Yeah. And we invited them to conversations that they should be listening to.
All right, we'll keep it moving. All of our viewers, I hope you're learning. I hope you're participating. I hope you're putting your answers in. This is question, well, it's not a question, but this is number 6, I believe. Yes. The quality of time a father spends with his child, as indicated by interacting warmly, responding to his child's needs, etc., is more important than the length of time. Now, this is a fact or it's a myth? What do you say, viewers?
And the answer is?
This is a fact.
A fact. So we both need quantity and quality.
Right. But there's a difference.
There's a difference.
Right.
I could be with my child all weekend. That's the, we.
That's quantity at that point.
Yeah, we there. But the time that I got face to face with him, it's not that 48 hours. It's a lot less because I'm upstairs watching football,
and he's
downstairs
on his game. Yeah.
And so we got the whole weekend together. That's the quality. We got that the whole weekend. We got 48 hours together.
Yeah.
But the quantity of time that we having face-to-face discussion, we're not there.
Yeah.
Because, again, I'm down doing my thing.
So
he's doing... So you need both.
Yeah.
You need to be... I'm not saying you got to be there in his face 24/7, but y'all should be doing things together.
Right.
It don't have to be a lot expensive. It could be, whether you're going to the park or whether you're in the house and y'all playing a game together. And he's watching games with you.
Right.
You doing something educational. That FaceTime even needs to be, because a lot of times we go get our kids, our grandkids, and we send them and let them play their game, and there's no quality time.
Yeah, we've never even said, how's school, how's this, how's that, because
right.
we haven't done
exactly.
it.
Even at the table. We're sitting, we don't have that communicating, that talking. It's like, put your phone down.
Right.
We're going to talk.
Yeah, phones at the table, dinner time was a no-no.
Yes. We've gotten away from a lot of that. And I know things have changed, people have changed, but there's things that are fundamental in that communication and that talking with your kids on a one-on-one basis.
Yes.
That don't never need to change.
Right. All right, this is going to be our last question, and I hope our viewers are staying with us on this. This is a myth or fact. Girls who are raised in homes without their father present are more likely to begin having sexual intercourse at early ages. Now, this is a myth or it's a fact.
And the answer is?
This, indeed, is a fact.
It's a fact. Wonder why that is.
I think there's no one guarding the hen house, so to speak.
Yes.
That the wolf is going to come in.
Yes.
And if there's no one guard, if that sheepdog's not out there, he's going to take him what he wants.
Yes.
So
I'm
just using that analogy
to
keep it clean, but that's what happens.
And fathers bring that to the table.
That protection.
And all of that, James, but also fathers also bring affirmation. And if the affirmation is not there, your daughter, your granddaughter, is going to go out and get that because she wants it.
Right.
She wants to be told that she's beautiful.
Yes.
She wants to be told that she's acceptable. We all have that, but she wants to be told that.
Yes.
And dad is not there to bring that affirmation. Guess where she's going to get it?
Anywhere outside
she can get it from
home.
that knucklehead that's out there, and he's going to give it to her with a price to pay, and we know what that price is.
Yeah, unwanted pregnancy.
Because she wants the affirmation, and he'll give it to her, but he's got a motive.
Yep.
I often tell this story when I was coming up. If I was interesting in a girl, my question was, and I kind of knew because I know the neighborhood, where your daddy at? Mm-hmm. Because if your daddy wasn't there, I got to change. If your dad was there, I got to change my game. Mm-hmm. I just can't step to him anyway because I know what father brought to the table. Because I know what my dad brought to the table.
Yes.
When my sister started dating, I know what my daddy was there for. Mm-hmm. I know what they went through to come and date my sister. Mm-hmm. And I remember distinctly my oldest sister. My daddy told her boyfriend, which is now my brother-in-law. They've been married for 54 years.
Wow.
And when he first started dating, my dad told him to go away, don't come back. He left, but he came back the next day.
He's gonna keep.
And he kept coming back.
Coming
and
back.
she, and finally he realized that. And I think my mom talked to him too. Like she's 16, 17 years old, and apparently this guy like her. Mm-hmm. He ain't gonna stop, so he accepted him, and they had a good. They've been married for, like I said, 50-some years.
Yeah.
So I know how my daddy protected my sisters. Right. And so when I was dating, I was like, let me go down the street and get little Jimmy, little Sue. I mean, the moms that don't have a daddy. Because I know I can, pull some wool over her eyes, be nice, and, she'll allow me to come and see. Mm-hmm. But that was the thing that fathers do bring that affirmation that a lot of times little girls don't get. And they find it in the hand of a guy, and all he wanted is sex, and next thing you know, she's pregnant.
Yeah. Well, we hope our viewers learned some things with our myth and fact moment, and we hope that you will apply them or share them with your friends, please.
Yeah, if you know of a father that's struggling with co-parenting and issues, please send this. Tell them about this. Tell them to go to our Facebook page and look at this
podcast.
This podcast, and hopefully we answer some questions and have some discussion that a lot of times, James. That's why we do the sermon, and a lot of times also when we do the classes, a lot of guys have the same questions, and those conversations can help give you the equip you to deal with the struggles that we struggle. Yeah. So just pass this on to me.
So short of the podcast being given out or shared, come and join our Fathers Forever University class. Yes. And you'll learn even more information.
Yes. And there is a price. You go to our website and see that. And I talk about the price. However, I also know that there's some struggling fathers out there that may not have the means to pay for this class. And we don't want that to be a stumbling block. We do have some scholarships. Call us, talk to James, tell him your situation, and we could possibly give you a full scholarship needed, a partial scholarship. Yes. We want this information to get into the hands of all fathers, struggling fathers, new fathers, good fathers, great fathers, and just go to our website, and James, I'll let you finish up with all of that.
If they can go to the website and they can fill out on our info page, leave their contact information, and we'll certainly get back to them. Or they can call us, and we can talk to you or share more information about Fathers Forever University and joining the class.
Yes.
Until then, though.
That's it.
It's about that time.
Yes. Our team is looking at us, telling us it's time to wrap it up. So we want to say so long, goodbye, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye.
Here's 3 ways you can support our Dads at a Distance initiative. Give a copy to a family member, our friend. Donate monthly, a book monthly, 5 books monthly, how many books you want to do monthly donation. Reverse book signing, your church, your business. You can make a donation go to our website at www.afatherforever.com and go to our PayPal at Fathers Forever. Our Cash App is $Fathers Forever. Make your donation today. Please include in the note section, include DAAD. Again, include in the note section DAAD.
If you or someone you know would like to be a part of the show, please visit our website at www.afatherforever.com or call us at 919-779-9905. The Chat and Chew podcast streams Thursdays at 8 p.m. on YouTube and Facebook. To schedule a reverse book signing or to find out more information about how you can become a part of the programs you've heard us mention today, please be sure to stop by our website as well.
Hello, everyone. This is Glen Warren, founder and executive director of Fathers Forever. I want to share an alarming reality with you. 627,000 fathers are incarcerated that have kids under 18. Now, there are 56,000 moms incarcerated who have kids under 18. The reality is there are so many more fathers incarcerated than moms. This is why I Am a Father Forever book exists. Now, I need your help. I am inviting you to help us get this book into as many fathers incarcerated as possible. Here's how it works. For your donation of $22, we will provide a book to an incarcerated father. Thank you in advance for helping Fathers Forever heal fathers and save families.